Welcome back, everybody. I saw an ad on Facebook, I think it was, for a really cool haunted house book nook. So I rushed to Amazon to see if I could find it, and I couldn't, but I found this one. This was the closest alternative that they had for a haunted house book nook, which is basically this miniature sort of diorama that you can stick inside like a bookcase, and it makes it look like a little haunted scene. I guess these are kind of popular these days. I've seen a whole bunch of different designs online, but like I said, I couldn't find really any good Halloween themed ones except for this one. So I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. It did not get great reviews. It had some good reviews, but mostly people say it doesn't fit together very well. So we're going to have to find out for ourselves if that's the case. It is at least supposed to be easy. It says it should take about an hour to put together. So I'm hoping it will be something I can handle. You know me, I'm not great with some of these little crafty projects. This one has a light up feature. We have a mirror of some sort and some instructions. A quick glance here says it's suitable for people 14 years of age and older. Looks like we're going to need some glue, maybe some tweezers, maybe a little utility knife as well. So this is obviously the cover of the book. It says Halloween on it, very in-your-face Halloween. Looks like we've got some scenes on the inside there. I guess this is the back cover, a little wooded scene. Ooh, this is kind of spooky. Some scary lady in a mirror or window. I'm guessing it's a window. All right, we've got parts and pieces. Now this is a little cartoony for my taste, which is what I wasn't thrilled about with this packet. It looked like, at least the one that I saw advertised elsewhere, had more realistic, kind of very scary imagery. Again, this is all sort of kid-friendly, so I would think for being 14 years and older, it might be a little more frightening than this. Looks like we have a spot here where the battery compartment is going to go. It shows us here what we have to do. So it looks like I've got panel A piece D14, D11. Looks like it's got a little glue icon here, so we're going to glue these pieces on top of each other to make this, and then glue it on the board here. So we have panel A, D14, and D11. So you can push it out just with your fingers. It does say that you might want to cut out the edges first, but we'll see if it becomes a problem. It looks like on the back here it does say glue place. Glue place. I'm going to use my crafting board here so that I don't get any glue on my tabletop. It doesn't really indicate how much glue to use, so let's start a little sparingly. Going to place this door frame on top of the door. I can already see I've used a little too much glue because it is seeping out the edges there, but I think when it dries, maybe you won't even notice. And then it looks like this door is going to get glued right here, so we're going to see a little bit of the scene through the door windows. Next up, we need some window frames, and I see that that is G5 and G6. Now I do notice that my door still moves around. I'm wondering how long it's going to take this glue to set. These are very mobile once I put it on. Maybe I'm using too much glue, I don't know. Looks like next we're going to add some window sills. G7, this tiny little thing here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to glue this on. It doesn't say to. I think it just fits in these little slots here. The window wants to keep moving around. Some other sort of windowsill here. This windowsill is going to have our first pumpkin on it. So we're going to take our tiny little pumpkin, put it inside this hole. It fits very snugly. And then that's going to go underneath the other window. Look at that. We have some windows. Now, I don't like the fact that this windowsill doesn't line up with the window. If I push the window over, I can nudge it a bit, but then we're going to start to see the outline of the inside of the window there. Not thrilled with that. Something's going over the door as well. Appears to be an awning, and it is also getting a pumpkin. Now, I'm realizing that we're meant to see this from the side, right? So this is actually supposed to face the side like that. The hole only lines up the one direction. That might have been why I had a difficult time putting that one in, because that fits much easier that way. Let's slide it in the holes above the door. I'm going to try and fix this one while I can. Definitely slid in better in that direction. And now when we do look at it from the side, you can see the pumpkins. All right, I got rid of my board because it was a little bit distracting. I think we can see the image better without it. These things still are very loose. And it looks like next up we've got some more window frames. It looks like we have some awnings for over the windows too. And then we have some ledges for underneath the windows. Next, we have the windows themselves that go in the window frame. Now, I am not sure this is going to work. It's suggesting that we only need to add a little glue on the ends so that we can make it look like the window is open. And actually, we're supposed to put the glue on the top, and the bottom. Now, my glue doesn't set that quickly. There's no way I'm going to get that to look like it is just sort of open. It's finally starting to set a little bit. All right, I guess if I hold it enough, it does sort of stay. I'm not sure that's not going to just collapse there, but it does look kind of neat. Next, we're going to take this piece. It's going to be held in place with these little tabs, and I see my window has already collapsed. So this piece, it's just going to line up with these holes here, and then we're going to stick it in place with the tabs. Next, we have our spooky tree piece. It's got a face on here and the little owl. That's going to fit in these holes here to make our three-dimensional tree. And we have what I thought was a bird. Actually, it's a bat. It's going to stick in this little hole here like it's flying off the tree. And this is going to complete our Scene A. Next up, we're going to put together Scene B, starting again with some window pieces. So we're going to take our outside window frame and glue it onto the inside window frame. It gives it a bit of dimension. They lined up her face perfectly to see through that top window. Not really sure what this piece is, but it goes here at the bottom of the door like it's a little doormat. Kind of looks like a little skull. That's pretty neat. These things surround the door. Not really sure what these things are. I guess it holds the awning. And we have a ghost to put in place. Look how detailed he is with those little hands. Now he is supposed to be coming out of this window. Very creepy. All right, we're also going to need the owl, the lantern, and the cartoony witch. The witch is coming out of the window. The lantern is next to it. And the owl on a branch, for some reason, coming out of the wall. All right, we need these pieces next. And these are all going to assemble together. I guess this is a balcony, which is going to go here on the window. All right, we've got a ledge for the window here, so let's take out the ledge piece. We've got a plant and a pumpkin for it. Some braces for the ledge. Put the plants on the plant and the pumpkin on the ledge. It's going to go in place here with the little braces below it. All right, we've got another brace plate with a few more of these connector bits. And scene B is complete. Just need to let this dry a little bit. Next, we're going to do the ground. Where we're going to have this little skeleton in a coffin. Gonna have the witch's broom. And I think our last pumpkin. This little street piece. Gonna line up these holes because these pieces actually have long tabs that are gonna go through and hold it all together. Going to have another street piece. And that's going to be held in place by one of these crosses. This larger cross. And the skull. Our last piece of street. That's going to have the tombstone, this Halloween sign, and a stack of pumpkins. There we have our street scene. Our street scene wouldn't be complete though without the Reaper. There's a lot going on here. Right, the back of the book has the cutout for our battery pack. Looks like it has a little wrench here that we can pop out as well to help us assemble it. It's time to assemble our light fixture. There are some instructions on the back. I'll feed these wires up through. Goes like so. That makes sense. So on the outside we have our battery compartment. Comes with some screws to put in place here. I feel it's easy enough to just hand tighten these. You don't need to bother with the little wrench. This is secure enough. I do think we need to go ahead and plug this piece in here. I'm going to go ahead and put the batteries in so that we can test it. The box said it needed 2 AAA batteries, but it actually needs 3 AA batteries. And we can see it works. We have some pieces to put around the lighting compartment. It does have some instructions on the boards themselves to help us figure out how these pieces assemble. We're going to put the lamp here. They hold in place with these little clips. I feel like this does not want to stay very much. This piece has a little spider on it. Goes on top of here. And then this whole assembly fits on top. Just need to get this to stay in place. I almost feel like it needs to be glued. Hold it in place with a little piece of tape. And then this piece somehow fits in the scheme. I think I got it. And then lastly, we have one more bat. Now we have to assemble this mess. So we're going to start with the ground piece. Put our battery back on. Along with side A. Coming together. Now I'm going to move this aside and attach side B. Now I do think I lost a clip down in there somewhere. Things are falling apart a little bit. Did come with a spare, so I'm going to try and put that back into place. Before we put our top on, we're going to take our mirrored bit, pull the film off of it, and slide it in these slots. It's a little unclear that the mirror goes in at an angle. I thought maybe I had done something wrong because these slots weren't lining up. So I pulled this off, but there's no other way it could go than at an angle. And maybe that's just to give it, I don't know, a little bit more interest. Who knows? Let's go ahead and put on the top here. And there we go. Now my bat that was supposed to dangle down from there has fallen off. This little doormat keeps wanting to fall out too. And once you have this thing assembled, it is not easy to put this stuff back in. really love the way this looks inside the bookcase. It's like this entire tiny little world that exists amongst the books here. It's a little hard to see, but there's so much going on in here. And that mirror in the background sort of doubles the image. It makes it look like it's turning around the corner. It's really hard to see, I know, because it can't focus very well. But for instance, you can kind of see there's that handprint in the window there in the back, which you wouldn't be able to see if that mirror wasn't there because it's reflecting off the side. But there's so much going on. Before we go ahead and take a look at this, though, with the actual lighting it comes with, I want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. It's even spookier with the green glowing light. Now, I thought this was an incredibly fun kit to put together. The only thing I found is that sometimes, let's go ahead and see if we get that light back on. It is on a sensor there. The pieces that are only supposed to slot into the walls often fell out. I found that gluing them in made it a little bit easier. This was just so much fun to put together. I've already ordered another one, a witch theme. It's supposed to take more like 8 to 9 hours to put together as opposed to this one, which was 1. So I am excited to try that. If you want to go ahead and see that as well, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will bring you along with me on that adventure. Thank you, everyone. Can't wait to do this again with you. Till next time, take care, and happy haunting.